with the misfortune to come through, and the Alistar's great into that. This actually does, I think, cause GEN.G to pivot a little bit away from the Alistar, rather from the Rel, and go for this Rakan. Great follow-up on the Skarner Impale, and can help set up equalizers. Some of this game, to me, for T1, if they're going to win it, is just going to have to be won through the solo lanes. Faker is going to have to perform well into Chovy here. He and Owner are going to have great synergy, as they have.
Previous seasons has been all about, let's make sure that we have the best lane matchups as possible. And that's not
Alistar. Guma Keria got level 2 first, played this lane really well, and continue to do so.
Deadly Flourish, and there's the Grand Entrance, unable to actually interrupt Keria on his way in, but Ruler is still standing his ground, able to offer a fair bit of damage back still. One trade there by T1, and with an Alistar lane, if you're still being able to come out on top in these early trades, you're going to be feeling good about it.
Absolutely. It's that lane prowess, you know, you and I both are talking about, is going for more.
Well, another Pulverize comes in, another Deadly Flourish is obviously going to land as Gumayusi going to set his attention towards the misfortune.
Empty. Yeah, Keria hanging around.
Oh, Keen. Have to be a bit careful here, as the knockup does come down. He has Ghost, remember, doesn't actually have the Flash, as the flash forward, and Owner is able to pick up first blood. Keen just caught napping a bit in this early game. As Ruler up here towards the top side now, as they have elected to go for that trade.
Yeah, Flash win quite rare, in fact.
Trying to anticipate when Keria is going to be leaving, as the Grubs
here,
just...
in terms of what they could do with some additional damage in the side. So T1 definitely going to be happy to take them. I think it is going to be a very high value triple grub take, and if they can turn that to 4, gets even better. We'll see what soul we get, because that's going to be really kind of what this dragon means for us later on for GEN.G.
Yeah. Okay. That is a lot of damage onto Duro, who is just caught with his pants down a little bit in his own jungle, and T1 grabbed their second.
Had he potentially flashed instantly towards his AD carry, maybe he lives there, but doesn't know that it's going to be a 3-man party on top of him. Doesn't flash, but dies.
Oh, there's the charm actually connecting as the curtains have been called. Emperor's Divide gets rid of Keria, but Faker turns up immediately. Orbit Deception comes down, and Chovy is still surviving. He gets the heal, in fact, from that Gleaming Quill, helping him out. Nice work, Duro, defending your mid laner. This time around, as Doran going aggressive onto Keen, but Keen does have a friend here. And Doran could now be in trouble. He's looking for some snips onto this Rumble as the Flame Spitter comes down, but now Owner turns up, and that's going to be a very comfy kill from him to answer. Faker getting in here, though, as the teleport from Chovy delivers him, and the Emperor's Divide comes down. That is going to be the Shifting Sands. The Flash is the Foxfire enough, and it might just be. No, Faker gets crammed into the wall, and Canyon shuts him down.
Oh, so close to making it work. I was really surprised to see Chovy on the late team. Such a sick guard play from Canyon here. And it's Duro who gave him the bodyguard earlier, and now it's Canyon. Yeah, I watched Willer guard Chovy for a long time on Hanwha Life back in the day, but this is something else. This Dragon on the take here for GEN.G. Mountain second, looking for a 2-Drake lead, have positional advantage.
See Ruler walking over that switched off ward as Chovy going to get flashed on here by Keria. The quickness comes down though from Duro, and the 2-man on the Impale is so good. Already Owner has gone down, but Faker diving into the backline looking for the angle. Ruler gets over the wall. Can he actually survive is a question as Guma is chased after him, and now it's the cleanup for T1. Doran is going nuts. Slammed into the wall, and the Flame Spitter finishes him off, but now the man advantage should be there for T1. The Flame Spitter though, Keen, can you get it done? Faker and Gumayusi have the damage, and they'll be able to take him down. T1 win the skirmish. He's already down here towards this bottom side. The rest of GEN.G need to wait for these solo lanes to collapse in.
Chovy gonna clear this mid wave.
Oh, they were thinking of the turn. You can see Faker wrapping around. Emperor's Divide going to push the cow underneath the turret, but Chovy's in so much trouble. Curtains have been called. 1-2, and he's gone. Pick the juke there. Did Gumayusi, and down goes the Pigeon. And now T1, 5 versus 4, feeling fantastic going into this Drake fight.
Oh man, Chovy feels like in this game he had 9 lives. He kept getting out of every scenario, but not this one, not this time.
Oh, I don't know about fighting for this, but Owner is out of position. He'll be taken down first, but now is the fight going to be won. Ruler with the flash over the wall, the bullet time. Doran is going to try to interrupt it and just cuts him down where he stands. Keen trying to get in there, and the harpoons are doing some work as Canyon, so durable, gets another crash into the wall, but Duro is not offering any damage back. It is only Keen that's able to do any work, and he is just pushed away. Low health bars on T1, but they juggled the aggro beautifully.
And also a Gwen offering so much damage. Gwen Jin synergy seems really high in this game.
Well, Chovy's dead again. He's going to break his arm guard as Emperor's Divide does at least try to get them in position as his Sundisk does a bit of work, but Doran's going to be able to lock down the kill. There was just no way that he was getting out of that one. And we are still in a position where we don't have any of the...
yeah, that's pretty cool. T1 just going to go for this Otacon. It's a very T1 move. They'll drop their mid turret for this. And, I mean, Chovy's still down for 3 seconds, no TP. I just don't think GenG could stop this. They're going to have to just try to get as much as they can in mid lane. They will get that additional turret here.
I mean, 2 turrets is pretty good, but if they manage to take down Keen at the same time, it could be dangerous as he gets under the turret and he's still dead. There was no way out of that one. Carry back on some possibilities, but if the, Carrier. He is going to find Ruler once again. The rest of T1 looking to back him up. Duro playing some defense with the quickness as Ona just finds Canyon but gets impaled, pulled back in as the equalizer says, nope, you shall not pass. The Emperor's Divide onto Doran, but he kind of likes that the gap got closed. Duro trying to get himself out of there. The bullet time will take down the Gwen, and Chovy goes golden just to buy some time. He does fall, but Carrier now flashing the wrong direction and will go down for a triple kill for Ruler. The sidestep from Keen as well. Absolutely fantastic on that charm. As Keen still looking to go further forward. It's a one trade, but the curtains have now been called and Keen could be in trouble. Another charm going to need to connect, and there it is. Faker locks him down to even this one up.
To kill the Ahri with anyways. He still has his arm guard.
Oh, Duro might be in trouble here. Is Chovy going to move over? Battle Dance gets Duro out of there. And the curtains are under the ground, and that can be quite confusing.
If I know T1, they might just turn this into a Baron opportunity. They push away the support around this Baron. Faker with an angle, potentially.
Oh, Carrier's on a ward. He is a difficult target. If they do want to take him down instead, Duro going to have to get out of there. And Carrier realizing that there might be some health, abilities on cooldown. That's what I was looking for.
You could see, I mean, just Faker and Carrier walking at 4 people is enough to get them to back away.
Oh, the cow's so scary. Gets the flash pulverize onto Chovy, who will be eradicated before the fight even starts. It's an impale, but it's only onto 1. The curtains were called. Canyon's going to get headbutted back and snipped down. Bullet time does next to nothing, and GEN.G with 2 on the floor, they'll lose the Baron.
They'll lose the Baron, and there's no way for them to try to turn this into a Drake take or anything like that either. This should be T1 getting Baron, and there's...
As Owner is here, and starting this is real rough. There are Hex Gates as Battle Dance gets Duro to relative safety as Doran getting in there. Don't know about that one. It's a little bit scary. This fight for the Dragon feels like the real battle. As Faker with the charm, it's going to go wide because he was on vision. And Canyon looks for the opportunity, not going to be able to get it. It's going to be a smite fight. We'll see who is going to get towards Soul Point off the back of this one.
Faker TPing back to his teammates here to get in a better spot.
Yeah, Canyon goes in, but he's unable to get the Dragon. Ona going to get quicknessed up, now gets out of there immediately as Chovy finds the Emperor's Divide on 3! It was him that got picked off, but this time he's able to make the big play. Doran cut down where he stands, and Chovy is dead again, but this time he takes 2 with him.
And he still hasn't broken his arm guard.
Happy 12th anniversary, Faker. You're doing pretty well. As, okay, never mind. Crash into the wall onto Ona, and I don't think that Crescent Guard is going to be saving him. Chovy in a little bit of trouble here as Faker looks for the charm angle. He'll be able to get 2 off the back end, and Ruler is going to be his next target. He's dashing forever with all of these resets, and Gumyushi's flashing forward. T1 are going to take this game.
He and T1 are going to take this first game.
And I need to now remind everyone as Keen goes down underneath these Nexus turrets that this is game 1 of a regular season best of 3. So it feels like the stakes are way higher than they are because it's GEN.G versus T1. They often are quite that high as there goes the Nexus and T1.
Angle either.
Poppy's up? My God.
It's not a bad Poppy angle, but it's not a standard one either, in that, you know, the Ezreal, obviously, his shift is a blink, and he can still follow up and push out this Poppy pretty well. As well as, yes, she can be good into Gnar, but that's pretty situational. Can be decent into Fury, but that's also quite situational.
Rookie versus Faker with the Galio meta. It was some of the best Galio that we've seen I think it might have even been. Took the mantle for Galio play after that massive taunt that he had on GEN.G afterwards. We're paying some attention here on the bottom side of the map as Duro moving a little bit far up, gets ignited immediately, and the flash forward from Carrier looking to try and lock down the kill. Duro being able to farm very effectively. This bottom lane's also having a decent time as Ruler Arcane shifting forward is dangerous. Duro actually going to pay for it though as Gumayusi is the one that goes low and first blood goes to the Nautilus. Carrier doesn't have flash. He's likely to go down as well, wanting to take Ruler with him, but he holds the barrier and despite the Q he stays alive.
Doesn't seem to care. As we'll go back to this play, this W here, connecting is so much damage, and then Ezreal's able to get out, and then they target the Nautilus, interestingly, so he's just tanky enough that allows Ezreal to do so much more damage. And then here, like you said, there's no flash for Carrier. He doesn't have enough damage. Looks for this play, gets the barrier at least. It was very close.
But it's going to be fine. We can kill him. Minions do so much damage at that stage of the game, as you can see. Ruler took a lot of his health bar just from that. But man, this is really going to set the tone for how this game is going to look as Doran is still here on this top side. Ruler gets a ward in as he's looking to actually put the pressure on his Carrier, shows his position. Remember, the Arcane Shift has already happened, but he still has flash. The flash forward from Doran is going to be ended, and Ruler just puts him down!
Oh man, Ruler is that alone, it looks like it's going to be enough because Chovy can join with his ultimate. They want to respect it.
Yeah, I think having topside control here for GEN.G was enough to be able to grab that for them, as the public execution is, in fact, pretty private there from Doran. Fortunately.
Owner is going to turn his attention to this dragon, so it will be grubs for Drake, the trade. GEN.G getting all 3 grubs, and Ruler continue to push his advantage here.
Owie. Oh goodness, okay. We'll be going over to Owner, no worries. Of course, this is a composition that does really want to hit level 6 on the side of T1. So, but True Shot Barrage now going to get flashed here by Carrier. Steadfast Presence as Duro's going to have to flash. Man, he would have died if he had taken that last turret shot. Pretty lucky there for him. Down. Understanding that there is not a lot of vision here for T1. Duskbringer, there's the flash in though, as Canyon's committed, but ulti comes through from Chovy. They get the knock up onto Carrier, but he's pretty tanky as this Poppy, and the rest of GEN.G just going to back away. Good defensive play there from T1.
Yeah, very good defensive play. Very late to show up. I say it, Canyon coming in, doesn't have Smite.
Yeah. This should just be T1 locking one of them down, though. I think that was almost best case scenario based on the game state.
Going to clear some of this vision here. Second Dragon would reveal, of course, what that soul is going to be. It's too valuable. Solo Elemental Drakes. And both of our global mid laners come
over. There's a flash forward from Carrier, but doesn't get the stun. There's the paranoia. They decide to go on top of Duro first, as the Realm Warp is going to deliver Faker to the mid lane with that button. They do decide to face check.
Faker in the top lane here, and let the Dragon go.
Side lane.
And with the timing
now in hand.
He knows he could just set up his Mega here if anyone's there, and he has support as well to keep pushing this advantage and look for a Demolish proc.
And look at both teams just watching, as that was a Gnar that went off. I don't know whether it actually connected onto Doran, as Chovy able to clear out these minions under the turret with the Justice Punch, but you can see Faker is able to really soften him up.
Don't end up losing anybody. They don't pull the trigger themselves, but GEN.G just continue to push these advantages. This is what they're so famous for, is getting everything with just a small advantage on the map. Faker trying to take out a turret here on the bottom side.
Yeah, you can see actually trying to take out Chovy. Does tank up the turret for quite some time, as Chovy does at least eliminate the minion wave. Canyon locking that one up gets them the feats of strength.
Just a really good play from GEN.G to group up topside, knowing that, you know, this objective gets them feats of strength, is going to get them that turret eventually, and if T1 make a play to try to punish, you're already there to catch them and then take the objective. If they don't go, then you win anyways, and Chovy just holds bottom as long as he can.
Oh, the Fury going to get caught out here as Canyon trying to go untargetable to keep himself alive, but it's getting so difficult. He flashes, he gets over the wall, but the Realm Warp from Faker is not actually going to get taken.
And, I mean, Owner can come in from a long ways away, but Guma is going to take some time to get down, and he's very late to show up to this objective. It looks like he's not going to show up at all. They're just going to simply give this one up.
Yep. So that's going to be a second Drake going over to GEN.G. The first, that is going to be the outer turret in the mid lane going down. First turret for GEN.G as well to help extend that gold advantage ever further.
Ooh.
Second charge with the last Skerrick of health. As Faker going to get knocked up. He's in turret range there as well, as he wants to just take down the turret.
Himself too far forward here.
Yeah, Duro's going to show up, and Keen was already in position. There's the knockup from the depth charge, and this Rise is not going anywhere. Tries to Realm Warp, but that is not happening. And GEN.G going to use this as an opportunity to head towards this Artican The rest of them were grouped up, and the rest, you can see GEN.G actually wanting to find a little bit more of a fight before this one happens.
Spell Shield's good, but he's still pushed away. But this buys time. Faker has teleport when he respawns here.
Oh dear, Carrier might be in trouble. He gets smoked by Canyon as Keen wants to hop over that wall, finds the boomerang, and I think that Canyon has the damage. True Shot Barrage comes down, but there's the paranoia to try and save, but also kill as they get on top of Ruler. Ruler is dead to start this off. Doran's flashing away to try and get to safety. Faker is still dead, which is so lucky for GEN.G because otherwise they could have lost the Otacon, and somehow that anchor lands. Doran just trying to survive. He can dash for, you know, about 1 billion miles, but is that enough is the question, as Canyon should have enough damage to take him down, and there it is. No way for T1 to get in. They're going to give it up. They do see it go down, but there's no way that they can actually change the outcome.
If Carrier had ult, maybe.
Oh, Realm Warp, an opportunity here is once again, it's Ruler in trouble, and he'll just get obliterated. This time, GEN.G in an awkward spot. At the same time, heroic entrance, and Duro is still dead. A double knockup, but Chovy's just given himself up. Owner down low, but they take down the Gargoyle, and T1 say you can take the Dragon. I think it's time for Baron.
Okay, they're going to look for this turret as well. A little bit greedy, not quite able to get it, and some extra damage does go on to Carrier. Owner fairly low here, and of course doesn't have his ultimate, but they're going to start this up just the same. Ruler is up in 20. Chovy's so long away from respawning that there's no way he's going to be able to TP, and they just need to have a little bit of defense against Canyon.
Yeah, Keeper's Verdict is going to miss, as now let's see whether they can actually hold on to this. Is so dangerous. Meganar is almost there for Keen. He does get it, but it does not do enough. Canyon gets into the pit, goes untargetable, picks up one, but that is it, and T1 will take the Baron.
Traditional T1 Baron, it's a little risky, but they had the numbers, they had the advantage. And they are feeling very good about their chances. Take a gold lead here, and they can push it even further now with an extra res on the back.
Yeah, this is a real turning point in this game in every sense of the word, because now they do have that gold advantage with the Otacon as well.
Having Owner on this flank.
Oh, another moment for Ruler, unfortunately, in that mid lane. He's just taken out Keen. Soaks up a lot. We don't really have the withdrawals coming in just yet, as I don't know about that one, but still, they dive in. It's a great hook to try and answer, and the Justice Punch is there. The 3-man taunt from Chovy, but remember, he's just picking up little bits of 200 gold from T1, who are now breaking open the GEN.G base. Look at that Rebel Baron power play just explode. 5,300 is the number, as Keen, nothing he can do. Doran dashing around. He can go home if he'd like to. Faker in here as well as Canyon, wanting to try and take him down, but the damage has been done, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 12 Faker, 3-1-5. He was the only gold lead, and now everyone has one.
He does work, but it's not enough, and this might be the beginning of the end of the game.
Wow, this is the first team fight the Ruler's actually been able to play. He does manage to send someone home. Keeper's Verdict going to get charged up here by Carrier, but does instead decide to cancel it. Okay, I was pretty happy to see Ruler not just
on this Dragon. It's not going to be sold for them, but would be huge. We'll go back to the beginning of this play. Ruler just shifts away. They ult him.
Owner's like, I can just always do this, I think, because it hadn't really failed to work every other time.
There isn't really any valuable ward there for Keen and Ruler.
Oh, Dredgeline going a little bit wide there as Carrier gets in another time, but this time Ruler's able to get out of the way of the public execution. Can he get the damage down? The taunt is fantastic, but Gumayusi gets on top of him. They take down the Nocturne first, so it's GEN.G finding the team fight. Keen gets in, wallops Gumayusi, who cannot get the DPS, and now he's the only man standing. GEN.G find an angle and fight back.
What a beautiful fight from GEN.G, and it's Carrier who starts it off with a knock-up there. Then they look for the follow-up CC. Base in tatters here for GEN.G, but they pick up the soul off of this and will return home to defend
those 3 deaths. Was just Owner saying, I decide now that you die. And perhaps that's something worth looking into. But as we can see here, under 2,000 gold, now the lead once again is Owner, possibly caught out. He's got a GA, but he doesn't want to lose that cooldown. True Shot Barrage coming in as Canyon dives on top. They used the paranoia as well, but now Carrier looking for an angle. Chovy finds a taunt, but only onto one as Doran gets into that backline on top of Ruler. But now he's got friends. Now he has backup. And even though Canyon falls down, the carries are left alive. And Ruler gets the last laugh in this one.
Canyon getting on top of the backline there, on top of Faker and Guamet. They couldn't actually item, but maybe he doesn't necessarily need one when he has that shield. Now Chovy has an arm guard, so He can make a lot of plays here. Keen, Wit's End, also makes him very difficult to kill. You know, Faker's not doing that much to him. And with the siege here, slow and steady, looking for the 4-1 here to try to push onto these inhibitors.
All right, Canyon and Ona just trading some shields out. As Canyon will be able to clear out this control ward.
It's so difficult to actually engage here as T1 to find any sort of angle.
Faker just walking up, seeing whether he can put some pressure on.
Just one cannon minion here buffed up by the Baron is starting to siege up, but it's fairly slow push here for GenG.
Yeah. He's trying to keep them busy for as long as possible. You can see this line of wards that GenG has. If they keep them here for long enough, then they will have so much control over the Elder Drake. They're obviously looking pretty far forward here as the Fear Tether is going to line up onto Duro as underneath the turret they go. Doran is so incredibly low and still ticking down from that bleed, and that is going to be the turret falling. Keen now trying to get himself out of there. Look at that huge shield that he picks up with Hysterics. That's now on cooldown, and he's got the Mountain Soul as well, of course. Inhibitor goes down, just war of attrition here being won by GenG. They transition it immediately into this turret. Doran doesn't find the public execution, and True Shot Barrage is going to do so much work. Keen diving on in. I don't know about that one. Heroic Entrance, though, gets Chovy right on top, and they've tried to split up this fight, and Ruler is untouched in the backline. Faker goes golden, but is he going to survive for long enough? He flashes to get a kill onto a Nautilus, but that is not going to change the fates of T1 here. They're looking to try and end it right now, but Carrier says no. He's just getting them out of there. Chovy goes golden. Carrier is likely to die, but Canyon is so incredibly low, and it's in fact Chovy that falls down. These Mystic shots are so dangerous. Gumayusi and Doran both falling to the hands of Ruler, who only has a Nexus turret in his way before game number 3.
Yep. Ruler says, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm back, and you thought you could defend. You thought that was the end of it. Certainly not. Oh, the shot!
Oh, there it is. Gets the snipe onto Carrier.
Now, the base survives for now as Baron fades away. That flash from Guma guarantees he's up, and they can actually fight one more time here on Elder. Huge smite there from Ruler as well. Very flashy. Elder is live, and T1 are nowhere near it.
They do manage to get some vision. They spot out that GenG's doing it. GenG wanting to catch them, not wanting to go for any sort of burger flip here, as you can understand. As Doran looks for Chovy, they kept this one leashed. Paranoia comes in, and they dive in. Ona gets there towards the Dragon, but Chovy is right there waiting for him. It's Duro that takes down Gumayusi to start this off, and Keen wasn't even here. Ruler takes out the Poppy, and the Elder goes down. Faker gonna get eaten by a Dragon, and GenG, of course they are. They're gonna bring us to a game 3 in this absolutely ludicrous first series between GenG and T1 of LCK 2025.
What a banger this series has come to be. We've got one more in the tank. GenG, they had great control from the beginning, a massive lead from Ruler, but they had to fight their way back after T1 wrestled control away from them. Such resilience. In fact, I think it was he who did it when we had that big meme where I just...
Yeah, I think he was actually Duck Crank.
Yeah. And Duro, I mean, he's very good at this pick, and I think it does, to a certain extent, kind of save the laning phase if he could hit those hooks, if he could actually make the plays. Because Lilia isn't necessarily going to bail you out of that lane, unfortunately. A lot of other, maybe AD junglers could have actually come down.
Starting to set ourselves up with a lot of pretty established orgs here in the LCK. It's great to see. Strovie and Faker fighting one another. Faker with some pretty good close-range rocks there, as we can see. Victor really wanted to have Death Ray available as, ooh, a trade of skill shots. Duro missing, unfortunately, there, as I think you can miss a couple of Peacemakers and be okay with it. You miss a hook, to walk around and everything's fine.
Oh!
Hook is gonna connect! And the Blade Caller comes on through. Gumayusi staying alive. The flash comes out, but he's in the alcove, and then he's dead. Carrier trying to play Gatekeeper, and Ona's moved on over as well. Duro gonna be able to get the knock up there, and it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade, but I think GenG are okay with how this one has eventuated. Gives him the good old thumbs up, and finally does take down the Xayah.
Doran doesn't have his ult just yet. Oh, he's not here.
Chovy is in a really uncomfortable spot, but the rest of the team are going to move on over. There's the flash in, gets the knock up and then the hook, but Ruler unable to quite find it here as Ona goes out with a magical journey. Weaver's Wall just to try and save Carrier, and T1 will be able to reform the Phalanx.
Reset here a little bit. Double stun is pretty big.
Yeah, you can see Ona here as well under a little bit of fire as Gumayusi fighting Ruler. Guma wanting to get a few of these autos, but Ruler gets into the fog of war. Duro is in so much trouble. Knockup does come in as Canyon. There's a lot of bad guys here. Ruler trying to offer the damage back. Ona is in trouble, but he's calculated it.
He is caught after Guma chases him down. Faker picks up that kill, and
Damn.
Ruler is still Xayah into Caitlyn, as it turns out.
He was playing that one very, very well, though. Is going to throw down the gravity field. And Faker going to get caught up by that. And the hook comes in once again. 2 turret shots onto Carrier. Chaos Storm means that Drew actually picks it up with the last tick of Ignite. And he's going to get flung back with the seismic shove, but he says he does not care about that one bit.
He's drunk jungle. As finally we're going to take these grubs down.
Yeah, there's going to be Ona taking the last one.
Sure, if this will be successful.
I think he has the all-out as well, and he's going to use it. Brings Doran underneath the turret, and there's the Glacial Prison. It was all a bait, ladies and gentlemen.
That's an angle on Faker here.
All right, well, Duro is just going to light him on fire. Lands the hook there. Bowling Ball is going to connect. Seismic shove to buy some space, but Faker's getting sleepy. It's getting late in the day, and Chovy burns him down with that minion. That was a pesky minion.
Certainly. But a pesky Caitlyn continues to eat away at this as Owner takes the dragon. It's a late first dragon take here, but it will be even with the picks that they've gotten.
And Doran walking up, and we'll just get pulled back. There's another all-out here as Doran is going to take another turret shot. This time, he's dead, ladies and gentlemen, although doesn't land the Q, and Keen not going to overextend because Owner is obviously right in position. Carrier tempered fated himself.
Kill onto Keen. Hex Flash.
Yeah, looks for the hook angle. I mean, you just got to take those. Running into that alcove, and I would have 100% died and been tilted off the planet.
Yeah.
Instead, Keen,
patience.
He is just able to walk himself back. It is
similar story to game 1. Pretty significant early game lead.
Well, there's Captain Jack from Ruler. Doesn't want to use his ulti. Happy to use the cleanse. Really nice.
Yeah, we're heading towards the trough now as...
All right, another hook and another flash.
Another one. This guy just keeps making these plays happen. He's just where he needs to be. He isn't sure. And he's like, better safe than sorry. So now both bottom laners down.
Another Tempered Fate comes in. Has to flash to get out of the way of that seismic shove from Faker. T1 now all grouped up. And now the Rift Herald just going down. Slowly but surely here. Canyon in position to try and contest. Seismic shove going wide. And that gives Canyon an opportunity to go in. Information advantage here for GEN.G, as it is going to be Ona with the smite. An early one there, unfortunately, for Canyon, as Ona has to flash to get out of the way. Keen tanks up the seismic shove nicely, and he is not going to be able to re-engage as they get some information. But out they go. Carrier looks for the Tempered Fate, does lock down Keen. Oh, Doran actually the first one to fall in the fight. Keen eventually falls down as they trade top laners, but Ona is going to be safe. And it's a 1-for-1 with the Rift Herald going over to T1.
T1 grouping to Dragon now with the Prio. They just have Prio seemingly everywhere where they need it, especially. And it's this Jax, this Caitlyn, that gives them first rotation. That's going to be the second Dragon. We'll see what soul we get. Maybe your Cloud this time. Nope, that's already a first one. So
I think Doran is where a lot of the T1 chips are in. As Keen standing on top of a ward. That is not what he wants, as he should be able to absorb some of this CC, but not able to absorb all of it. Eventually has to flash. And we'll use it to get out of there. But the rest of T1 now grouped up. They've got a minion wave and they've got an inner turret, and they have 4 people looking to try and take this one down. Canyon spinning. Duro's getting on in here as the Tempered Fate will lock down 2. But the tower is not one of them. Now Canyon trying to spin around here, looking for the lilting lullaby as Doran will melt. And now Faker and Ruler facing off. It's like a tale as old as time. But this time, Gumayushi going to be there with the ace in the hole. That is going to spell a disengage there from Ruler.
Yeah, Faker versus Ruler in the mid lane.
Another flash. Also has his Mikhails completed as Chovy going to avoid the Tempered Fate. Canyon moving down as Ona taking some legitimate damage here from these mages. And GEN.G, I think they have an Otacon on them. They have a lot of damage. But Ona, he's got an itchy smite finger. They do manage to land the hook, though. The Weaver's Wall comes in, and Faker is looking to try and defend. Mikhails onto Duro is pretty unnecessary here, but GEN.G, they're going to have to back away. This Otacon under 50% health.
I think T1 will just let it reset, though. There's no way to try to take this one away. It's just going to leash back to full health. And, you know, with all the damage done, GEN.G likely to give this up and back away.
Ooh, bowling ball, barely going to miss onto Faker, but does land on the Gumayushi there, as we can see.
I think this should
wanting to get in position. They're going to look for a fight. They're looking for Chovy, but Keen lands the Q. There's the hook, the 1-2-3 punch onto Faker, and it's Ruler that takes him down. The Chaos Storm now doing work as Chovy. He got out of there with a flash, but now he's getting back in. And Doran just trying to play this one defensively. GenG finally winning a fight and getting an objective.
Really important fight here for GenG, and they finally got to take it on their terms.
Oh, nice little Glacial Prison there from Ona, but unfortunately not a lot of follow-up.
Yeah, it's pretty tanky. Cassante, they're going to turn this into a turret as well. Carryout nearly caught by that hook from Duro, but we'll get out. Didn't have the flash. But yeah, this fight is really about GenG and then walk in.
Oh, hook gonna connect. It's not exactly your favorite hook target there in the Jax, and that is why Duro immediately says,
utilizing it to start an objective just yet, although as I say, if Faker goes in.
Yeah, there's a brilliant Tempered Fate there on to Chovy. And Ona has engaged, but I don't know whether they really want this because Keen looking for an angle. Doran is teleported in, but he might get Sleepy pushed back towards the Baron Pit. There's the all-out from Keen. Wanted to get him over the wall, but now he's 1v2, and the other four are looking for the rest of T1. Doran, likely the first one to go down, but Keen is getting lower and lower, and it's Gumayusi there to defend his top laner. Chovy, I don't know about that one, really wanted to kill his ex-top lane player, but no one is dead.
Yeah, but this is the time where T1 have to reset, and GenG are going to look to try to take the Baron. Back from Owner, I think. Oh, no, wait, he hasn't fully channeled, but he is backing. He has no vision, so waits for this. Could attempt to steal, as they don't know that he's there. He has that control ward, too.
Yeah, Weaver's all going to come in. Yeah, Carrier is the one that checks. As Ruler, Featherstorm is going to break that one. He looks for Faker, but he doesn't get it. The Seismic Shove going to connect, but Faker is still going to be dead. There goes the Talia to start this one off. Duro finds the hook onto Ona. That's going to force the flash, and now Chovy comes in with the follow-up damage, and one after the other, the T1 players are falling. Ruler gets in there with those feathers, and the Baron should be next on the menu.
That might have been.
Yeah, T1 have actually got on top of this. The Drake was picked up by GenG, but GenG also get into position to try and fight for the Otacon. Remember, this is not voracious. You don't just get the withdrawals as the Tempered Fate goes wide. So does the Glacial Prison. Chovy still, Canyon not able to get the smite. And he also has to flash out of the way. So T1, they're the ones that get the buff, but unfortunately they don't get the extra flowers that are scattered all over the floor.
So is it going to be the biggest? As you can see, GenG are the ones who have all the blood petal stacks here. The secure of the objective not as important with this one.
Yeah, GenG just took the Baron and then went home.
Yeah.
And T1 booked it to the Otacon to try and take that one. So
that was
still a bunch of fight left in this team.
It's really risky to go straight from Baron into Otacon at that moment. The team okay with this situation. However, they lost a decent amount of Baron time from that contest.
Yeah, as Duro looks for the hook onto Faker, gets another flash. This guy is just taking flashes all over the Rift.
It's insane how many he's gotten.
He is the crank, man.
He is. He's 8 out of 9 KP this game. He is just having a fantastic time. But GenG, with this play, they push Faker away. That's a lot of the wave clear gone. That's a turret dead.
And 3.5k is a Rebel.
Faker, right now, so close to a death cap. So close to massive amounts of damage to break through this front line. But with GenG having an insane amount of control at this moment in time, just to play so cautiously, wants to farm that last bit up. He has a Void Staff and Sword.
And Ona now looking for Chovy. He'll get him. Chovy, remember, does have the Zhonyas and has a gravity field as well that he can put down.
And Sejuani and Bard aren't known for 100 to 0ing. There's that TP, there's the Void Staff.
Oh my god, look at how quickly this Baron goes down. Ona is trying to get into position. They have the Weaver's Wall. T1 know exactly what's going on as the Tempered Fate is going to delay the fight for a little while. Down to 3,000. Ona gets into the pit though, and GenG need to go down to 3, and it's Carrier that takes the Baron. What the actual hell? But GenG is still looking to win the fight. Keen finds the knockback, and Ruler is starting to layer these kills. But it's Gumayusi trying to kite, and he gets death rayed by Chovy. Ruler left alive, but so is the Goad, and Keen, he cannot kill him, and he'll let him slink off into the fog of war. The teleport to get Faker out as he denies the Baron, but he won't be able to deny the Dragon.
Yeah, he'll have some Baron-empowered minions to help slow this siege here. Ruler just has this one cannon minion, but look at how quickly he can take out this turret. Once it's gone, he should be able to then take out the inhibitor. Faker going to get some health back and maybe come over here and try to contest, but I just don't think it's worth it. Too risky to win the 1v1 against where they just don't make mistakes.
Yeah, so boring.
But it's you know, in terms of their play, they're not going to push up and try to look for a play. They're just going to win slowly because they have all the cards. And so T1 just kind of has to sit back, clear it, and wait for that Dragon timer to run out. It's at the same time as the Baron.
And what they have to avoid is getting caught up in the moment, right? Yeah, GEN.G really putting their cards towards this Dragon, which will go down so extremely fast. I like that Ruler changed position there as they think that they've caught Canyon, but the follow-up is just not there. Faker.
Good Mikhails.
Yeah, gonna get Mikhails so that he doesn't fall asleep, but Owner is gonna get slowed down. Chovy on a flank angle, the flanking Victor, and they look like they've caught Gumayusi. The Chaos Storm goes down as they take the magical journey to get them to safety.
Crazy
and now, a teleport from Doran, who dives in on top of Chovy, does keep himself alive. The Tempered Fate to save the top laner, and it's all just, please, can we disengage on both sides? And they will agree to terms.
So many ultimates used. You don't have to rush over to contest.
Every time these bowling balls land, it's so dangerous. But the Lilting Lullaby still with a few seconds left before that comes off cooldown.
Doran on a flank again.
Yeah. Keen, not really a target that he's looking for, but Ruler is right up there, actually looking for Owner. The amount of damage these feathers do is absurd, as Chovy as well, just pushing them back.
It's Baron time. They're just going to rush over and try to take this out.
Yeah.
T1 are going to trade it for Infernal Soul, but their base is the one that's open.
And it's Soul Point, it's not even Soul, so the Baron, so much more important here for GEN.G at this point in time.
Absolutely.
They will be able to back, but the Glacial Prison misses because he gets put out of position with that Seismic Shove. Still the defensive wall of traps, and the fact that they can flick these siege minions towards these inhibitor turrets means that the defense from T1 is definitely scary.
They're just continuing to clear these waves.
Oh my, okay. Oh, every time he walks forward, I'm scared. As there is another Tempered Fate onto Ruler. Doesn't actually use anything. As the rest of GEN.G are moving over, the hook goes wide, the Seismic Shove as well, no joy.
Mikhail's used there to guarantee there's no follow-up there on Aguma. They're going to clear this wave again, but Chovy's got this inhibitor on his mind. It's open, and down it goes.
Falling down, though. T1 realizing that they're going to have to defend under their Nexus turrets if they're going to do so. 14 seconds time. Still, that Baron is going to wear off. Exactly right.
So much AP. I mean, they just basically two-tap these turrets if they get on top of them.
And T1 can't really find an angle there. Finally, the Weaver's Wall comes in again, but it is used just defensively as the Glacial Prison flies out once more, but it's not used to engage.
Baron's done. Minions are running out.
Oh, the hook barely going wide there as Doran goes in, but he's just going to explode. Goes golden, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Tempered Fate there to start that one off, but he gets the leap strike out and he survives.
The turrets are still pretty healthy here. Does GEN.G have to wait for this wave of super minions?
Another turret going to fall down. 3 inhibitors will be taken by GEN.G.
Gives them a potential cross setup, but also allows them to clear out this bottom wave.
Quadra Infernal Soul has now been picked up by GEN.G.
I just don't think they can get into to win a fight.
The window to get that and avoid the explosive damage of GEN.G.
Chovy not having TP means he can't backdoor or anything like that.
Oh, hook is going to connect onto Owner. Keen going to push him back, but now Faker gets in there. They know that they have to commit to something as Chovy is also taken relatively low. The Chaos Storm in answer, though. And Canyon and Ruler, they're staying on the Baron.
They're staying on the Baron. T1 can't get there quickly enough. It's just gone.
Yeah, just taken. And GEN.G, they sacrifice half the health bar on Chovy. Still has flashes. Canyon's looking for an angle. Oh, Gumayusi could juke. Gets him out of the way. He's still got the 90 caliber net and 5 players alive on both sides.
GEN.G
here by GEN.G.
Incredible, respectful play from GEN.G as they look for the 3rd inhibitor.
Owner is going to look for a potential engage, but it's onto Keen. Another hook is going to go wide this time as inhibitors, all of them, now on the floor. And oh my god, Gumayusi. That headshot is exactly that. Is now Keen. He's down low. The 3-man Tempered Fate. This might be the angle that they're looking for. The Featherstorm now on cooldown. But GEN.G, as long as they can walk away.
From Keen. They're looking to take out this mid inhibitor again as it respawns and push down the mid lane.
Yep. 15 seconds. And until the bottom inhibitor is also going to go down as Weaver's Wall to buy some space for T1.
I mean, once we get double super minions coming down the space, surely GEN.G can end with that, right?
I don't know. I really just don't know.
The wave clear is just so insane for T1. They can buy so much time.
I mean, at this point in the game, if T1 just kills all of them, they win the game.
They're hanging on by a thread of a thread. A thread of a thread here, but maybe a miracle play could happen. Tempered Fate, 1 second, it's back up. What do you got, Carrier? Where's the angle?
Ooh, another hook this time. Going to get sidestepped by Owner beautifully. Tempered Fate connects. It's only onto Canyon this time around. Seismic Shove, and Duro is already dead. Canyon goes down as well. T1 This might be the opportunity, this might be the angle, but Keen is a raid boss! Another double shove onto Chovy and Ruler! They are able to walk their way out. Still, it's Keen that's on the floor. And now T1, if you kill these two, they are just dead. Chovy, the one that could tank it and teleport to get Faker in there. And Ruler, he's got a Feather Storm, but he does not have his life. Owner goes down, Chovy against the wall, and he gets two.
That's massive that Chovy's able to get those two. There's so many standing structures up for GenG.
I mean, Faker and the death
race! Chovy gets him!
Chovy, you psychopath!
He's got TP, but he's not going to be able to use it here. He's just going to go home.
Oh my god!
Wait, no, he's actually going to get TP in. He actually goes home and TP's in. Faker, not fast enough to get back.
He's got an army of minions. He has an army of minions and one Nexus turret between him and a regular season Game 3 victory against T1.
How good's the wave clear now? Alone against Chovy. Not good enough, Atlas.
The seismic shove is going to go wide. These Nexus turrets go down so quickly. Chovy is going to do it in the most heart-wrenching third game of any regular season of all time. And GEN.G will do it.